The Rugby World Cup 2007 is now well and truly in full swing. All 20 teams have at least one match under their belts. Now we can look ahead to this weekend. And in Paris, all the talk is of one fixture, a troubled England preparing to take on the South Africans. 8 years ago at the Stade de France, South Africa's Gianni de Beer drop-kicked England out of the World Cup at the quarter-final stage. On current form, the Springboks are expected to win again, and with pace out wide, may even pick up a bonus point for scoring 4 tries. Who better to ask for an expert's view on the match than a former World Cup winning captain? We caught up with Farr-Jones, who led Australia to glory in 1991.
Well, certainly based on form, you'd have to go South Africa. They've prepared very well this year. They've rested their players during the Tri-Nations series. They obviously want to be peaking at this time. They were dominant against a fairly strong Samoan team, so I'm sure they'll be full of confidence. England will try and take them on up front, but I can't see England getting that dominancy they need. And do they have any match winners, game breakers, line breakers? I can't see it happening.
And there'll be more from Farr-Jones later in the programme, talking about this weekend's other matches. Well, we've heard what he thinks, but what about the fans? We caught up with supporters of both sides, including some of those who've crossed the channel ahead of the big game.
I'm originally from South Africa, so I suppose my heart will always be there, but after living in England, I got strong support for both teams, actually. Very strong support.
England is not going to win against South Africa. This is Paris. And South Africa beat England in Paris in the quarterfinals 8 years ago.
South Africa, easily.
Why?
Because England are rubbish.
But England-South Africa isn't the only item on the menu this weekend. The All Blacks have promised to show sensitivity, but are still expected to feast on Portugal. Ireland must improve as they play Georgia, Fiji take on Canada, and there'll be simultaneous hackers and bone-jarring tackles as the Tongans face the Samoans. France are looking for their first win against Namibia, but on Saturday all eyes will be on Cardiff as the World Cup leaves French shores. Wales play Australia, and we asked former Wallaby World Cup winning captain Farr-Jones how he thinks the Australians will fare.
I know a lot about the Australian team. Down under, we don't get to watch a lot of Northern Hemisphere rugby. They sent down a second-string team. They, obviously, did that in their preparation games. So I really don't know what sort of a surprise that Wales could possibly spring. If they're going to do well against us, they have to be dominant up front, and I don't see them being dominant in line-out. I think we've got a very strong line-out with both Nathan Sharp and Dan Vickerman. Certainly very capable in that area of the game. The one area they'll attack us on is the scrum, and it really comes down to what does the referee let you do. If the referee penalises the Welsh for maybe being too dominant, well then we'll probably get out of jail in that area. If the Welsh can get some real dominance, if they can turn up the heat on our scrum and we're on skates from the very first scrum, well then George Greig and Steve Larkham, they won't get the sort of luxury ride that they might want. If we can get a Galatay or not get belted in the scrum area, then we should win convincingly, I believe. We've got a lot of match winners. You've got the inside 4 who have proven themselves in the Tri-Nation. Gregan is doing enough. Certainly Larkham is a key. Gito, we didn't see him excel against Japan, but he's certainly one of our superstars. And the captain, Mortlock, is terrific. And, of course, Chris Latham, to have him back, he can do some amazing things. And I think he's crucial.
So another weekend of champagne rugby on the cards. England, South Africa and Wales, Australia are the standout fixtures. But who will be popping the corks and who will fall flat? Join us again after the weekend when we toast the victors. Until then, au revoir.